Welcome to episode 8 of the Tipping Stars podcast. Woo! We're doing the walls and ground clap. Anyway, it is Halloween today. We're recording on the day because scheduling was hard, as you can tell, because there's only 2 out of the 5 members plus a guest. So it is a very silly time for us all. But we're here. I got my brothers behind me. They're digging into some pumpkin. So yeah, this is Dolphin Arena, the guest. We'll get to him in the instructions, but
Hi.
I am the host for today.
I'm also British. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, it's a little hectic out here in the galaxies of the Tipping Stars. You know.
We're taking over.
My name is the Monkey. I'm also a guest host for today. I was paid on Fiverr to be here. And then we got below me.
I'm Nintendo James. I'm the other regular member. Because it's Halloween, I'm dressed as a JMatthew fan, which is very scary.
Right. Very. Says beat 'em ups. Beat 'em ups told me that. He was like, "Why do you watch this video?" And then we have our first guest, Dolphin Arena.
Hi. Yeah, that is my name, and I came dressed as the scariest thing I could possibly think of.
And this is basically his face reveal
Myself.
as well. He's never.
Yeah, no, essentially. You guys know it. You guys
Yeah,
know
we
it.
know.
The rest of the world, mystery until now. Oh, I thought I
There
recognized
he
that
is.
voice. I can't believe
Wow.
You thought I was.
Plot
the
twist of-
monkey. You thought
I was him the whole time.
But it wasn't the
Wow.
monkey. It was JMatthew, and I'm actually
Can-
here. I'm the host for today, guys.
Consider
Sorry.
me hornswoggled.
Consider me flabbergasted, and
I thought you were going to say something different.
all of those things in the world. We're gonna cover a bunch of spooky Halloween topics for the day. Some topics that we covered before that we need to update on. One of us to do because it's a silly situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's start this 3-post episode. Let's begin with that. Let's do a quick little, just basically,
Update on the situation.
with the bandana.
Yes. So, last episode we talked about the the voice actor controversy with Bayonetta 3, which was very fresh at the time. All that we'd heard was Helena Taylor's side, which has now been proven to be not true. There were reports from Bloomberg that said she was actually offered closer to 15K. And the 4K was actually for a cameo later in the game. And then Helena Taylor went back on Twitter and she was like, I feel the need to defend myself. And her defense was admitting that she lied and confirming the reports. So, didn't really know who to believe for a while. And then she just flat out confirmed that she had straight up lied. And so a lot of people's stance on the whole situation changed. Mine has changed. I feel no guilt about getting and playing the
Thank
game or making
God.
content now.
What a great
Yeah.
turnaround.
So
Look
true.
behind you, bro. You have the Trinity
Yeah,
Masquerade
that's-
edition, all because of this got
Oh, I
turned around.
didn't. It's
Yeah.
right there.
Right on time.
Right there. Only came in today, actually. It came in a bit late, but
Okay.
I got the game. I will be making videos on it, which is good. Yeah, the way I see it is she was offered 15K for the whole role, and whether that's like good or like if that's still low, that's not really for me to say. I'm not a voice actor. I don't know the industry. I don't know what standard things are, but like I know that is like I said I don't know what standard things are. I know that's pretty standard, right? If you in voice acting, like that's a pretty standard rate to get for that kind of work. And so the way I see it is if it is still low, it's not a Bayonetta 3 issue, it's just a voice acting issue. So I don't see any reason to treat this game different to any other games that do the exact same thing. I don't feel guilty anymore. It's very nice. I will say voice actor pay is still something that needs to be talked about, but not necessarily with this game anymore. Which is a bit of a relief. I'm glad that I can make content about it. I'm glad that I can play it. I'll talk more about that later though.
What
Yeah,
a
it's
roller
all
coaster
good.
of
It was
Oh,
such a
news. Crazy,
oh,
and it had to happen to like the big anticipated game of yours. Past 5 years, this whole thing had to happen. From start to finish.
and
Right at the finish line.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. The 2-week build up to release, we had this 5-year build up, and then when it actually was right about to come out, it just went insane. But yeah, now that she's basically confirmed it, both sides are saying the same thing now. I feel like it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it's done, because like what I think is a big takeaway from this situation is there's always more that we don't know, so if there's always a chance that more will come out, but right now it seems pretty clear cut. So I'm not feeling bad about the game anymore, and that's that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Great.
I'm glad you just enjoy it guilt-free, because you've been waiting for so long.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And obviously we don't have anything to say about it. We haven't played Bayonetta, but I'm glad that you can enjoy the game now, and that you can make videos about it, and you got your hands on the collector's edition. I know it came a little bit late, but you still got it after you canceled your order. That was very lucky.
Oh yeah.
And you canceled your order like 3 times, something like that, and you still got it.
Yeah, because I think I said in an earlier episode, I canceled my initial pre-order of the Trinity Masquerade edition to like have a bit of extra money to fund my film, and then I found very last minute I found one place that had one available and did like the PayPal pay in 3 thing, so I paid like £25 for it already, and then I got like 2 more installments to pay, but I get it now, which is cool.
Nice.
I can get it.
I think it was. I think this is like. I think it ended up better for the sales as well, because like now people want to buy it, knowing that like, it's resolved, and like now it's more talked about than it probably ever would have been towards launch. I guess like considerably. It's like it's kind of insane how things are happening. But yeah, we had some crazy other horror game news around recently. Silent Hill is finally back in the form of a sequel remake. And the Resident Evil 4 remake was shown, right? I didn't get to watch a lot of this. I've seen the lead up and the build up to Resident Evil 4 remake. I just haven't seen the new stuff. I don't know really what was shown.
Yeah, I think they showed some new gameplay and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but Silent Hill is a huge thing, because obviously that series has been dead for a while. And then they did a big showcase. They announced like 4 new games in a movie or something like that. It was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I just I can't believe PT playable trailer happened in like 2013, 2014. My dad played that a lot. I got to try that a lot. It's a crazy game. Still looks amazing to this day. It's a very big demo for what it is. Obviously, you can't get it anymore. It's a very it went out to the App Store ages ago, but BT was supposed to be like the new Silent Hill like successor or something like that, right? And
yeah, it was
the
teaser for Silent Hills, which was Kojima like taking over the series, and then they were like, no.
Right, and then that kind of spun in. It got canceled, then it kind of spun into like Death Stranding a little bit, because like Norman Reedus, went from being the main character of that game to the main character of Death Stranding, and they're obviously both Kojima, so it kind of spun into that. But now Silent Hill's back, so like, hey, who knows? PT stuff could come back. I mean, in any form would be cool. Like if that corridor from PT comes back in like some way, or any kind of element from it would be really cool. And I love my horror games more than probably like half of the group. I know Jack doesn't like them, Nathan doesn't like them, so I don't know about JR, but I'm a big horror game fan. And my head fell. I'm just gonna leave it there. It's not worth it.
His head is gone.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's a perfect time to announce. Obviously, it's October. It's Halloween today. So yeah, that was the news. For Kojima.
Yeah. So I think the big thing that a lot of people have focused on from the Silent Hill news is the Silent Hill 2 remake. Yeah. Which is odd that they've like done a modern remake of that. Like, as far as I'm aware, there's no remake of 1. I don't think.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so I think it's weird that they're diving in with 2 first, but 2 seems to be like the fan favorite. I personally haven't played 2, but I know a lot about it. I know the full story and everything. It's a game that's like interested me a lot throughout the years. I've always been super intrigued by that game. And the remake, like visually, looks gorgeous. Yeah. It looks, well, I mean, as gorgeous as a horror game can. It's like it looks very, very incredibly detailed, and yeah. I will say my one concern about it is they seem to be missing some of the point with some things.
Hmm.
Like it may seem like a small thing, but there's one very iconic shot of James Sunderland like looking at himself in the mirror, just like staring at himself. Um, and it's really like effective in the original Silent Hill 2, and then in the remake he's kind of like making this like grimace face like he's in pain, and that's like that defeats the point. He's meant to just be like staring at himself. He's meant to be emotionless. It has a purpose.
Hmm.
So I'm a little concerned that they're not quite understanding why people love it before they remake it. But it looks visually great. Yeah, I find it is odd that they doing that before a 1 remake though.
And then, the best horror game you've played. What is the spookiest, most frightening? Actually, no, wait, Brent, do you have anything to say about Silent Hill?
I think one thing a lot of people miss is that live experience, that Silent Hill Ascension, which I think has the potential to be really cool if they do it right, if they structure it right. But it's not looking like that's going to be any good, which is a shame because it's a cool project. It's backed by J.J. Abrams for some reason. I don't know why, but it looks cool. It's like a story-based thing, but it's a live stream. It's like Silent Hill meets Detroit Become Human, but it's a live stream, and that has a chance to be this really cool, unique experience. But it likely won't be. And then
Yeah.
Silent Hill F is that one weird game written by someone who wrote fan fiction, and that's all I have to say about the Silent Hill Showcase. I think.
Nice.
Yeah, Silent
Looks
Hill
cool,
F looks interesting. It looks like it's going in a direction that I don't think the series has really gone before. Also, real quick, I will mention the movie seems to be like an adaptation of Silent Hill 2
Oh
as
my
well.
god, the
so
movie.
yeah,
about that.
it's the same director as the 2006 one, which I still haven't seen, but apparently, like general consensus seems to be like it's not a bad kind of adaptation for a video game movie. But yeah, I'm just hoping they also don't kind of miss on the essence of why people love Silent Hill 2 in the film. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
And there's
Yeah,
a lot of past Silent Hill films too, right? There's older ones.
I think there's 2. So there's the 2006 one, and then I think there's like Silent Hill 3D something or other.
I know
Yeah, I
Adapt
haven't-
Silent Hill
haven't
3,
seen
but that's
them.
all I got. So it's not Resident Evil movies, but I think there's only 3 of the Silent Hill ones.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only 2 at the minute, 3 with the announcement. That's what I said. And the second one got disowned because it was bad.
And then next, our next
Japan.
topic is, what is the greatest horror game you've ever played? The most spookiest, the most scariest, the most frightening, the most jaw-dropping, overall just the greatest horror game you've ever played. I'm going to begin with this. I got to say, it's got to be FNAF World. No, it's not FNAF World. FNAF World's a good game, but it's not FNAF World. It's gotta be Outlast. Come on, Outlast. I played it twice. I played like half of it like 50 times for some reason on the PS4, and like from like 2013 to like whatever year. I just like kept playing from the beginning. I don't know what happened there. Finally beat it all the way myself. I think just like a year and a half ago, and then I played it again on the Switch this year. But Outlast is an amazing game. It's a very big like game. You're in a huge asylum that's like kind of like a manor, and it's very scary. Very scary game if you've never played it before. Your first time playing, very very horror game. Actually, I haven't played. There's a sequel and DLC for the first game too, which I haven't played, but I don't know how those are. But the first game definitely is a classic, and I'm pretty sure it's an indie game too, isn't it? At first, it wasn't like a big studio.
Yeah, I think so.
But that game like blew up, and I'm pretty sure it sold really well. And yeah, it's a great game. So if you haven't played it yet, please pick it up because it's great, and there's a really good story as well. It's very interesting. You can't fight back against all these insane people that are chasing you around. You have to hide or run, and like there's actually like a lot of puzzles you have to do too, with like the valves and like the generators and all of that. It's a very good game, and the ending's you know, see for yourself. The ending's a little silly. I'm pretty sure the DLC clears it up a little bit, which I haven't played, but I'm pretty sure it does. But yeah, James, what's your favorite horror game that you've played, if you have one?
I feel like horror is one of those things that's kind of difficult to define.
I know.
Like,
you're like, is it a horror game?
I'm curious where you're going with this. I'm very curious.
No, it could be. It could be.
Yeah, I don't know, because there's a lot of like games that have like horror elements that I don't know if I'd consider them horror games or not. I think it like, I don't know. I see a lot of debate on what is considered horror and what is not.
Yeah.
Like, Inside has horror elements, but I wouldn't say it's a horror game. You know, if I were going to describe it to someone, horror would probably not be one of the first things I'd say. I just like say it's kind of creepy, but I think one that other people don't consider a horror game that I would is BioShock.
Okay.
Like I think a lot of people say it's not horror because like you get used to it, but like it is scary. Like you're in this like messed up place. Like you start the game, you're in this like disgusting hospital with like bodies, like mangled corpses everywhere, and then you hear like these people like down the hallway just like say really disturbing things, and it's like, I don't want to go down there, man. I don't want to go down there. And yeah, it's just such a messed up game, but it's so brilliant.
It's very silly.
It's very silly
I played most of
game.
BioShock 1. I didn't finish it, but when it came to PS Plus, I played most of it. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I'm pretty sure if I hop back in, I could. I'm pretty sure I'm very close to the end. And I have all the games.
Everyone should play the iPhone version from 2009. Look it up. It looks like an N64 game. It's great.
I also have all three. I have like all three of the games on PS3 as well. So I seem to like play them.
I say I haven't played BioShock 2, but BioShock 1 I consider a horror game. BioShock Infinite is definitely not. So it's weird. Yeah, I'd say that's probably my favorite because I think it's horror. So
do you think Macbeth 64 is scarier, Brandon?
I mean, that's not my choice, but it certainly has some levels that imply it. And everybody who hasn't played Macbeth 64, go play it. Very good game. I have a lot of hours in that game.
Horrifying.
I care to admit, to be honest.
Horrifying levels in there.
Oh yeah.
There's certain levels where I was just like, Macbeth said boo, and I was like, dude, like that was very mean. And then I got scared.
I was screaming. Honestly. Honestly.
What's your favorite horror game you played, Brandon? What would it be?
I'm not so experienced with horror, so this choice might change over time, but it's a very strong game. So I'm quite confident this will stick for a while, and I'll be happy with this choice. I'm going to go with Resident Evil 7, just because after so many attempts of trying to play it, I tried it about 3 times, couldn't get further than an hour, and just wasn't doing it for me. One time, it and Mr. JMatthew, who were actually on call with me for this entire game, it just clicked completely. And I played through the entire game in one night. I finished playing the game at about 7 in the morning. And it was just so interesting. The scares were great. I was just really invested. I just wanted to see how it goes, and it all just flowed together so well. And I had a really, really good time with it. And then Resident Evil 8 came out, and it's good, but it's not quite as good. I'd argue more interesting characters, but just not as cohesive. It feels like 4 little games put into one. That's kind of cool, but I don't know. Resident Evil 7 will always be the preferred one of those 2 for me, just because structurally it's a lot more sound. And go play it because it's very good, and it will make you cry because it is scary.
Resident Evil. Jesus Christ, Resident Evil 7. I feel like that's like objectively like just like up there in horror games. It's just like that's gotta be like top 10, like even like maybe top 5, top 3. I've played like more. I don't know if I finished it, but I definitely played, most of the game. I actually can't. It was a long time ago the game came out, so can't really pinpoint it. But next topic, This is very spontaneous. It's not on the document, but I'm just gonna throw it out there.
What is this?
What are some of the worst horror games you've played? Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I have a few. There's like the web games, Steam games, Flash games, and there's a lot of really just bad horror games that just get thrown out there in like the worst quality ever, and they get like 10 million views on YouTube. It's like the weirdest like trope, like the FNAF trope, the Poppy's playtime trope or whatever. Yeah, they're just
something scary. I'm getting a random phone call. I don't know who that is. You're
Answer
a
it.
random phone call. I'm not answering it.
I
I don't know who that is.
You guessed.
No, not a
Coward.
chance.
Coward.
Not a chance.
You're a
It's Sonic.exe. He's calling me. He
No!
wants to get my tax
That's
he
my
wants to get my
favorite
tax
horror game.
information.
Take my answer.
Okay.
Oh man, but worst horror game. I think I once played a Club Penguin horror game when I was 6 that I didn't know was a horror game, and it scared me so bad that I cried and had to get internet protection put on my PC. I think that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna briefly mention
It might
this.
not have been Club Penguin, but it was something.
I'm gonna briefly mention this because I'm like, I love Club Penguin, bro. Club Penguin was like, I breathe it. James, you've seen me, bro. Recently, I've been on my Club Penguin high.
Honestly.
I think
Every time I join a Discord call, I join the screen share, and there it is.
I think it's just because of like the holidays approaching. Because Club Penguin holidays are always the best part. I think that's why. But Club Penguin Halloween party going on right now. Sadly, like Club Penguin rewritten and online are gone, so like the big ones are gone. But like there's still some out there. I'm still playing. Club Penguin nostalgia is a good thing. But anyway, the topic we're on to now is the worst horror games you've ever played. As for me, I play a lot of random like free Steam games. I played all the FNAFs. There's a lot of it's always the viral horror games that are just like not great, but get like 20 million like views from iPad kids that like spill cereal and milk on their iPad and then like eat their iPad and then they're still watching it. They're like, man, I love like Dan TDM like playing this game, and then they spill like milk inside like the headphone jack, and they're like, my Kindle Fire is like very durable. Anyway,
That's the most horrifying thing I've heard yet.
Dude, because
Like
no,
kids.
but listen, like you know what's what's happening all around the globe. Like there's definitely like a bunch of like ages like 2 to like 8 max. There's like these kids that have these bright blue, Kindle Fire new generation with like the puffy case and like the stand connected in the back. It's all like rubber, and there's like and now in this generation there's like the pop it things in the back too. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to get to the headphone jack, you have to like pry it open.
Yeah. So you know what's happening right now. You definitely got a bunch of kids watching like Markiplier's 3 scary games, and they're like eating like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and like spilling cereal into like the speakers, and like they just got crumbs and milk on the on the
I've
screen.
had sounds of milk.
And there's like a layer of finger grease over the screen. It's like gone crusty.
Oh no.
No, and they're like 2 years old, so they're like trying to feed Markiplier the cereal. They're like,
I just realized what you were saying. Oh my god. Like, oh, he looks hungry. Let me just.
yeah, no, but they're like literally like toddlers with like no brain cells watching this video. So they're just like, Markiplier, why aren't you eating the cereal, bro? You look hungry. You're getting scared.
I gave it to you.
Every time he opens his mouth to speak, they
Unbelievable.
smack the spoon into the screen.
Yeah, no, but it's like it's not only covered in milk because they're just like eating over it like a dinosaur, but like they're like dumping milk onto Markiplier's face whenever he talks, being like, "Bro, you need some? You want some of this?" But, like they're not even like saying that because they can't think. They're like literally like not even a year old, and they're just like, "Markiplier, please drink this milk." Like you're Dan TDM right now. Like just drink.
When they say
They're
it
just
out loud,
doing-
they spit like cereal crumbs on the screen.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
It's a biohazard.
Yeah, and they're like, they're like just like walking around the kitchen, like climbing on the tables because they're like 1 foot tall, and they're like dropping the iPad into like the different things. They keep dropping like the Kindle Fire HD into like different things, like a sink, like the trash can, the laundry machine. They could be going in the laundry machine too. They want to get washed while like in the laundry machine like spinning around while watching Markiplier. You never know.
Or when they put their cereal bowl away and they accidentally drop the iPad into the dishwasher.
Dude, literal toddlers.
When they clean the iPad by putting it in the sink.
Literal toddlers when they go to the kitchen to put like their like bowl away and like go up the stool and like they still have like a milk cereal covered like Kindle Fire in one hand and their cereal bowl in one hand, and they drop both. They both fall in the sink, and now suddenly Markiplier is covered in food scraps and milk, and the speaker is all blown out, and the speaker is all.
When they get up and they've got headphones plugged in, so they walk away and drag it behind them, and it leaves like a snail trail of milk in their wake.
Dude, you get 3-year-olds. They're watching Markiplier on their.
23-year-olds watching this podcast, do that. Do exactly that.
Oh my god.
You got 3-year-olds watching Markiplier on their iPad, and they're like, got covered in cereal milk, and they've got the big, like, huge, like, bright green headphones in. They are like huge and have like frogs on them, and they're walking away and dragging across like rocks and like hardwood tile floor, and it's just like getting banged up, and like the speakers like don't even work anymore. Like I can just imagine like this kid's Kindle Fire is just like completely shattered, but has tape all over it, because like it just happened to my Tims, and there's like
let's say I've been
there's
there.
so many
I've been there when I was 5.
there's so many cracks on it that like the cereal and milk is seeping into the screen, and like that's how they reach Markiplier. Like there's got to be two. I mean like I'm on like this a crazy tangent right now, but like I'm on to something. Like there's got to be these 2-year-olds out there who like they're these 2-year-olds, their intellect is insane, right? They don't have the knowledge of the world corrupting their brains, right? So they're just building up their own knowledge from within, right? From their past life. They're just taking little bits and pieces from their genetic DNA that are just giving their brain, like, knowledge, you know? So they're inside with their Kindle Fire watching Markiplier with their cereal and milk. And they really want to, and they think Markiplier is, like, looking really hungry because he's just, like, scounging around this haunted mansion, right, in this game. So he's taking the spoon that he has with the cereal, and he's jabbing into the screen, and he's smashing it so they can get to Markiplier. Because Markiplier is trapped behind this glass wall, right? It's not a screen, it's a glass wall. Markiplier's really in there behind the screen, and they need to get the milk and cereal to him. So they're smashing the damn screen and needs to get to Markiplier because he's been trapped in there, and he's stuck on this YouTube channel called Markiplier, and he's really hungry. He's forced to play these games, but they just get to him, so he's smashing the screen. And then he's just pouring milk into it, and cereal.
So what's the worst horror game you've ever played?
That's up there.
Oh my god, we can't even fit that on a TikTok, bro. That's a whole clip.
No, we can. You can make 10-minute TikToks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a YouTube short.
Yeah, make it a TikTok.
Anyway, YouTube business.
Yeah.
10-minute TikTok, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, so that's my theory. That's a genuine theory that like all of that probably happens in real life. It could be happening right now, like under like somewhere in this world, like even like
it's happening under this bed. There's storage under this bed. It's happening under there.
Yeah, there's a whole world in there.
Somewhere around us, there are 2-year-olds chiseling away at their screen with a spoon.
Markiplier!
Retrieve Markiplier.
Markiplier.
It could even be behind you. Look behind you.
Yeah, look, the monkeys are digging into the pumpkins because they need to get Markiplier out of there.
This is a representation. The monkeys are the children, and the pumpkin is the iPad and Markiplier.
This is the bright green Kindle Fire, and this is the screen. They're breaking into the screen and pouring chocolate milk and cereal into it. Because he's
talk about foreshadowing. That's been there since minute 1. There's foreshadowing for it.
Listen, yeah, I'm just like that.
Oh. Anyway.
Wait, but like. Honestly, though, like, if that would happen, like, somewhere in the world...
There's more to it.
Listen. So we already know it would be in America, right? But where? What state?
Yes.
Ohio.
Ohio?
Absolutely. Yes.
No, man.
Florida, come on.
You're not going to say, oh, it's a Massachusetts thing. It's Ohio.
Okay, Florida. Okay, that's a good... My guess is I'm like obviously more knowledgeable on the geography of the country a little bit. Maybe just like slightly more, not that much.
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably be like, it'd have to be like one of the Dakotas, North or South Dakota. like a little farm, because like obviously these 2-year-olds don't have like access to education though, so they gotta be like a remote like field. Like I imagine there's just like this
Could be
2-year-old
Wyoming.
like watching Markiplier, and I'm just like recapping. I'm doing a little bit of a recap for these people who forgot what I said earlier. This green iPad with a cracked screen with milk and cereal all over it, and a metal spoon, and apparently a sink in a kitchen, and a tile floor. Yeah, they're like in like this like farm, right, at a field, and they're like a remote location. There's like water and like lava surrounding it, kind of like how in Shrek there's like the castle with like the dragon and like there's like lava around it. It's like that, but like for 2-year-olds who watch Markiplier. Yeah, that's my guess.
So if they're on a farm, does that mean like a cow will like come in and start licking the milk off the screen?
Why would a cow want milk?
Why not?
Cows don't
That's
drink
like
milk.
what milk calves do. That's what milk is for.
Well, yeah, right. Calves like that, like they wouldn't just like find loose milk and be like, time to feed.
Loose milk.
Like, maybe. Okay, you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe in that region, I will say. Maybe like
Okay,
there's
so
some anomaly going there.
If it was a calf though, and it stumbled upon this milk-covered iPad, it would maybe have a guzzle.
It would maybe have a little bit of a what do you call it? There's a funny word where they're like you just like get like a little bit of like the drink. It's like this funny word for it. I can't get it. It's like a word for drinking something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like a little flask, and he's like, "I'll be taking this." He like just picks up some of it and like leaves.
Takes a sip.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the topic. Worst horror game I probably played. It had to have been like either a Flash game or a Steam game. I don't. Like they always start off buggy. Like I'm sure like Bendy started off buggy for sure, because those are all indie games that started in, like betas and alphas and like came out slowly. I don't know. I guess like the first 4 FNAF games were really rushed. But they're not. I like FNAF. So you know what? Not the worst horror game, but I think the newest FNAF came out really rough. There's a lot of bugs. I did play most of that one. There's a lot of bugs. It's really rough around the edges. At least it used to be. I haven't played the updated version. But yeah, that was pretty messed up. But yeah, really, this bad horror games is just there's a lot of like free ones on Steam that just shouldn't be out yet, and they're just like get thrown on there because horror games are so popular when they're so bad. Yeah, if I didn't make this topic so spontaneously, then I would probably have an answer that I thought of. But yeah, there's just a lot of really bad Steam games out there. And there's definitely some ones on the eShop too that get just like thrown up on there, for sure. Yeah, Zombie U sucks. James.
It does.
I don't know if I have one, to be honest. I feel like pretty much all the horror games I've played, I've liked. So,
Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
I would.
Did you like that one?
Huh?
Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon. You think that was good?
I barely played it.
So it's bad.
I barely played it, and also I would not consider that horror.
Well, like you said, there wasn't much to choose from, so I was trying to think of one that you could try.
I don't know. I have just remembered something, and I would like to change my answer for best horror game to Cheese Escape.
Ah, yeah, Roblox.
Yeah. Because you reminded me of like Flash games and stuff, and there's a game on Roblox that me and Jason played a lot called Cheese Escape, where, get this, you're in a maze of cheese and you have to find the 9 cheeses, but there's this big funny rat who chases you down, and he does a little giggle, and when he chases you down, and like a really deep, terrifying laugh, and that's my there he is, look, he's peering out, and that's my favorite.
Hey, don't make fun of me like that. Don't call me a freaking mouse. Don't call me a mouse. Don't call me. I don't look like a mouse, guys. What do you mean? I look nothing like that mouse. That's an ugly mouse. He has these big bulging eyes, these big ears. I don't like. I look nothing like that rat.
Behind you.
What?
Yeah, no, look. Take a look.
Take a look to your side.
Have a little swivel. Have a little swivel of your chair.
Take a turn. No, other way.
No, yep, other direction. Other left.
Other way.
Trust it. It's fine. Just do it. Check it. Further. No. You'll be fine.
It's Remy. He wants to bake you a lasagna.
Oh, Remy, you silly, silly rat.
I just realized I might have messed up the recording a little bit because I was changing my background and I realized that I'm recording that menu. So I'll. It's either just to be there because I need to. I do need to get this video out really fast, so I could just be there and you guys can be like, hey, it's a menu. Look at that. But if not, I can like fix it. But anyway, that happened. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. You guys thought it was funny. It's funny. Now
It was worth it.
It was funny. Yeah, it's funny, right? Brandon, it was funny.
We do have fun.
Brandon, it was funny, right?
It was funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah,
I would say it was funny.
fine. Yeah. You know, it's good. It's good. I think it's good. I think it will appeal to the younger audiences.
I think it was Sam. Do you think it was funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. It was funny. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Here's
Brandon,
two
what's the
thumbs
worst
up.
horror game
There
you
you go.
played?
I have two options for this, and they're less worst game ever, as more so just painfully mediocre. And the first one, controversial one, is Layers of Fear by Bloober Team, who are doing the Silent Hill 2 remake. It was visually interesting, but the story was just incredibly boring and was 3 hours of my life I would never ever get back. I don't remember a thing about it at all. And
Interesting.
then there's another game that I also played in like 2016, which was only like an hour long and was like £10, and for my hour I was not pleased with that, called The Park. And the art for that is a Ferris wheel and a chipmunk, and I googled it, and the chipmunk is called Chad the Chipmunk, and that is all I know.
Sounds scary.
Something about a mother going on multiple theme park rides to. Does anyone here care about spoilers for the Park video game from August of 2015?
No.
Anyone care about that? You care
No.
about that? All right, plug your ears. Oh, okay. But yeah, so this mother Lorraine goes on a bunch of rides to try and save her son or something, and uses electrotherapy. And then Chad the Chipmunk, what does he do but guide an ice pick over her hands, and then gets her to stab her son, and then the chipmunk turns into the boogeyman, and then the game ends? I might be remembering that wrong, but I think that's roughly what
sounds like
happens.
a Bible passage.
It does. It's Corinthians 17:4, and but yeah, that was an hour of my life that I would have rather spent watching paint dry. But I've never played any horror games that were like terrible, just ones that were exceedingly mediocre, which in some aspects is even worse because you do not remember them at all. Because if something's terrible, at least you can hate it and have fun hating it. If something's mediocre, no. But yeah, that's horror games. I need to play more horror games.
Right. Okay. Next topic. I also just added to you. I don't even know if you guys saw it, but it's on there.
Hey, I got the doc back up.
What is and I added this especially since like I don't want to like miss out. We got another movie guy here, film guy. So definitely want to have something about that. But what is one of the worst horror movies you've seen? Because if you've seen a lot of horror movies, you know that they're almost all bad, really bad. So
Can we do best and worst?
we could. So the best and worst horror movie we've seen. I'm going first. We're gonna talk. My best favorite horror movie. James maybe realized it, and it's like true. This is actually my favorite horror movie, probably. Well, objectively, Get Out is my favorite horror movie, just on an actual standpoint. Spree, on the other hand, from I don't know what kind of point of view to call it, but just sentimentally, like Spree, like I think of it, and I'm just like. I feel it in my bones. Spree is a movie. Main character named Kurt Kunkel, played by the Stranger Things silly man. Me and James watched it for the first time in my game room, and then like literally 2 days later, when we were at Too Many Games, James, JR, Jack, and we watched it all in one bed in the hotel room, and it was very silly. It was a very silly movie, and everyone loved it.
I watched it that same night.
Yeah, right. So, hey, you were there. You were there in my eyes.
I was there in spirit.
And Nathan was like somewhere like in the walls. But yeah, Spree is like generally like not bad. Like we all saw it. Spree is it's like better than expected. Like that, I've never seen like a like a movie like I really any movie portray like the internet that well, because like there's a lot of chat, you see a lot of chats, like because there's a lot of like it's about this like Uber driver, but it's called Spree instead of Uber, hence the name of the movie, and he's like live streaming him picking up these I guess, what do you call it, just like passengers, yeah, who are paying for the spree. It's so funny say. And then he's killing them on live stream, and that's like how the movie is.
Yeah.
So it's basically like all filmed. It's basically all shown in like the live stream format, almost all of it. So you see a lot of chat logs.
It's all found footage.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you see a lot of chat logs, and like if you read them, like it really is accurate to like so whoever made it knows knows what they're doing. Yeah, it's actually a fine movie. Not like best in every way, but for what it is, it is a different like film. It's like found footage. New concept. I haven't really seen in anything. Use that kind of topic. Like a social media influencer. Live. And it's also like it's kind of like is it like a little bit of satire, because it's like influencers just being like very what's the term? Give me a term where it's like they just like only care about themselves,
like self-absorbed and like
self-absorbed, or it's like sociopathic,
narcissist, sociopathic, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like it's kind of like ironic with influencers, because there's one guy who does like the vlogs and like the pranks, and he's like, yo man, and then he like commits like a hate crime, like a homeless person. It's like very accurate to like real time YouTube in certain eras. But yeah, it's a fine movie. And then should we go all our best and then all our worst, or should we say, what do you think, both at once?
Yeah, let's go around
best,
the
all
best.
worst.
Okay, so best, worst.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm glad you didn't talk about Get Out, because it means I can gush about Get Out and how brilliant it is. God, what a movie. For a directorial debut as well from Jordan Peele. And it's just unmatched. It's so brilliant. What really gets me with Get Out every single time is just how smart the writing is, because there's like every single line has like 2 or 3 layers to it that you will only get the more you watch the film. It is the kind of film you cannot watch once. You need to watch it at least twice, because you will not understand things. Everything has a different meaning the second time you watch it. There's different meanings the third time you watch it. It just builds upon itself, so it's just like it gets better every time you see it. But if you don't know, it's about this guy called Chris. He is black. That is very important to the plot. I'm not just saying it. And he goes to his white girlfriend's family's house to meet her family for the first time, and it doesn't go well, and that's all I'll say about the plot. Just see it if you haven't. It is, in my opinion, a masterpiece. That's my favorite horror movie.
Yeah. Dolphin Arena, Brandon.
Yes.
What's your favorite?
So, I'm going to keep the directorial debut rolling, and I'm going to talk a little about a little movie called Hereditary, which is just...
Oh, that's a good one.
Excellent movie.
I've never seen it.
Yes, a horror, kind of like a drama, and you've never seen it?
No, I hate to interrupt, but I've never seen it. But I remember when it came out, all I heard about it was that it was like the scariest movie ever made. That's like all I ever heard about it.
I don't know if I'd use that, but it is very effective.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's just got a very interesting... It's got excellent dialogue. Toni Collette is just unbelievable in that movie. She is ridiculous. She is Australian, which is crazy, because I didn't know that for years, but she, like, is, and you can't tell. It's crazy.
It's so crazy to be Australian.
I know, upside down and everything. But yeah, it's like, I kind of view it more as like a drama, sort of some horror elements thrown in there. But the writing's just so just excellent. And then the opening crawl mentions my birthday straight away, so that was a good start. And yeah, the movie basically was like a family, and then one time I was like, hey, we should go to a party. And then they go to a party, and then the rest of the movie happens, because to tell you anything else would be a bit, unfair of me. Go see it. Yeah. It might be on Netflix. It might not be on Netflix. Go look. I don't know where
somewhere in the
go
world.
See it. It's somewhere. You can find it.
I will add, Alex Wolff is also amazing in that film.
Alex Wolff is excellent.
Yeah, that I seen that and I saw Midsummer both for the first time this year. They're both
Mhm.
brilliant. I can't decide which one I like more, but I think Hereditary like stayed in
So,
my mind for longer. So
mhm. I heavily think Hereditary is better, but Midsummer is absolutely beautiful visually and such an effective like daytime horror, and it feels like a more
yeah,
like a horror movie than Hereditary does to me.
yeah,
That's
that's fair.
great.
That is something people say a lot about Midsummer is like it is. You don't get horror movies set in the day. It's so bright and colorful and yet so disturbing at the same time, and that's
Absolutely.
honestly just adds to it because you wouldn't expect it to be so disturbing when it looks like that. But
Hmm.
yeah.
All
Absolutely.
right. Now to the worst horror movie we've seen, or worst. I say just like one of the worst because I can't. I've seen a lot of really bad horror movies. Definitely like especially like years ago. I watched a lot of really bad ones. Um, but I just like there was this one that popped in my mind. I'm trying to think of one's worse. Um, but I definitely remember. I think it was like 2016, 2017 when Happy Death Day came out. If anyone remembers that one, where it's like the Groundhog Day parody, but it's like the girl's birthday and like there's like a killer coming after her and it's like the Groundhog Day scenario where it's like she wakes up and it's the same. It's I'm trying to recap because I haven't seen it in so long, but I definitely remember it being not great. Um, but yeah, it was just like maybe 2 hours of just the repeated same plot, obviously Groundhog Day thing. It just wasn't done that well. It was just weird. And I think there's a sequel for some reason that I did not see.
Mm.
But yeah, I wish I had more to say about it. I wish I had a better one to talk about. Um, yeah, definitely bad. I've seen a lot of other bad ones. I just can't pinpoint them right now. But yeah, there's a lot of just really low budget indie horror movies that just aren't good. What's the one where it's? Oh wait, no, I'm actually getting one now. That wasn't that great. Where like the kids go to like the grandma's house or like the grandparents' house, but it originally isn't their grandparents' house. The
Oh,
visit,
The
the
Visit.
visit. I've seen that a few times. And it's a silly Blumhouse
It's
movie.
it's an
Um,
M
Silly
Night Shyamalan
Blumhouse.
movie, so
oh really? Okay, I
yeah,
didn't know that.
that's
But
what
yeah,
you you get what you get with him.
another just goofy horror movie that just didn't make a ton of sense. Um, yeah, there's a lot of horror movies that are just bad. James.
Okay, picture the scene. It's the 4th of July. Me and Jason are in his game room. We've just watched every Wallace and Gromit short, and then we decide to watch American Psycho 2.
I should have said that. I should have said
Um,
that.
yeah, it. What the hell, man? What?
Talk about how it wasn't even like a sequel. You know more about
I
that.
was about to. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. So yeah, American Psycho 2 was originally supposed to be a completely different film where Mila Kunis is like a serial killer at college. Um, but then they kind of shoehorned in like some Patrick Bateman name drops and called it an American Psycho sequel, um, which is very stupid and it was very bad. And
Mm.
to be honest, it's not even the like American Psycho like tacked onness that makes it bad. It's just bad. All of the kills are off screen. You
Yeah.
never see anything. And
Really?
then
Yeah.
yeah, and then
I didn't know that.
she just kind of gets away with everything and just like is like I'm just a girl and I
Yeah.
like it's just so dumb and it's so like it's such a cheesy 2000s kind of movie,
Mm.
but it's so stupid that last minute they were just like quick in some voiceover put Patrick
Yeah.
Bateman's name in there and
I was
then
gonna s-
it'll be American Psycho sequel.
I was gonna say the only mentions like of Bateman is just voiceover, and then like that like very
Yeah.
like noticeably like late shot beginning scene where it's like meant to be Patrick Bateman played by like some guy named George whatever, which was very weird. She's just like the main character of American Psycho 2. She's like a kid in this scene. She just straight up just kills Patrick Bateman right then and there, and like that's why
Yeah.
it's American Psycho
And
2.
and also it kind of even that just kind of spits in the face of the first because
Yeah.
like mild spoiler for the first, but it is like 22 years old if you haven't seen it. But like it's the whole thing was like it might have been in his head and you're not supposed to know whether it was real or not. And then it's like he was the most notorious serial killer, Patrick Bateman. It's like no he wasn't. He just had like mental problems. It
Maybe.
was all in his head, possibly. We don't know. So why are you making a
Exactly. That's the
sequel
whole
where
point.
he's like
That's the whole point.
yeah. So it kind of spits in the face of that, and that kind of makes it even worse. Not a good film. Wouldn't recommend.
That's why no one watches it. That's why it just forgot about. We did. Did you give it a 1 star? I gave it a 1 star.
I think I gave it 1.
Because remember, our expectations for this movie were so low that it got a 1 star because we just thought it was gonna be like our expectations were like I couldn't even. It was like would be below the earth. It's so much of that. I think the only
films, but
yeah, the only reason why I got a 1 star is because we were in the same, like we were together, like at the watching the movie. Like if I watched that alone, I would have like either not rated it or given it a half. It was only funny because it was only like decent because we were like laughing about it right then and there, talking about Gertrude Fleck and like all those weird characters.
If I watched it alone, I wouldn't have admitted that I'd seen it.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't even logged it. You wouldn't even put it on there. Yeah. Dolphin Arena Brandon.
Yes, so this is a movie that you probably haven't heard of. It's not the worst horror movie I've ever seen. It's just the only one I can think of right now, and it's called Await Further Instructions. And the reason I have it on is because of how much it disappointed me, because it has a very interesting premise. Basically, this family are getting ready for Christmas or Thanksgiving, depending, and basically it tries to do this Get Out thing where, like, you know. And this is, I'm just saying it because it's trying to do this. It's like black girlfriend, white boyfriend, racist family. Ooh. But then it forgets to do it. So it just doesn't resolve that part. And then suddenly some TV comes on and it's like, hey, follow these instructions. And then the instructions get more and more out of hand. Then most characters are reasonable. Then for some reason, the dad character, who seems reasonable, just goes completely off the rails and just agrees to the TV blindly. So the TV's like, kill the president. And then the family's like, no, you should not kill the president. But the dad's like, the TV says we should kill the president. What? And we're like, I guess that's some heavy-handed attempt at talking about misinformation, but just what a mess. And then some black ooze comes and like kills them all, but also doesn't. And then the movie ends. And the worst part about that movie was the writing. And we watched it in college. And guess who we had as a guest after the movie screening was over?
Was it the writer?
It may have been. It may have been the writer, who we all had to try very hard not to diss his work. Because it was... Yeah, no, the writing was absolutely the worst part of that movie. Sorry, Gavin? I don't know. Let me find out.
No one told him to his face that it was bad. Like no one actually had the balls to go to him. It was
just such a mess. Yeah, his name is Gavin. Sorry, Gavin, but it was a bit of a mess, mate, wasn't it?
Sorry, Gavin. Sorry.
Sorry, Gavin, but it was. It was just nonsensical. It had such an interesting premise, and it just really fumbled it by trying to be so many different things and ended up being none of them. But yeah. Watch that and then don't enjoy it and then move on with your life.
Gavin's gonna get so mad after watching this podcast.
Yeah, sorry, Gavin, mate.
Man, he joins on every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get.
You'll forgive me eventually, Gavin.
We should get famous writer Gavin as a podcast.
We should get Gavin. I'm not giving you his last name, even though I do have it. Sorry, Gavin.
Well, you said the movie. You
said the movie. You can find out if you want to find out. Find out. But that's on you, not me.
It's on you. All right. Next, one of the final topics. I think pretty much the final topic is what games are we currently playing? I'll go first. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I really played anything since Beanie. I think I literally just been playing Club Penguin here and there. I think that's my answer. My answer is I'm pretty sure it's Club Penguin. I've been playing Club Penguin. It's nostalgic rush. The game.
I mean, Beanie rules.
Always gonna be the greatest Disney IP ever made. Disney, you're missing out. You Club Penguin. You're broke. Club Penguin's up. You're missing out on the community. You're an L and Club Penguin's a W. So, Disney, I know you're watching me. Walt Disney, you're like watching me right now. You can hear me dissing you. I know that you are mad at me right now. We'll fight, Walt Disney. Okay.
Walt and Gavin are both having a bad day after watching
Dude, Walt and Gavin, imagine
they're
they're gonna form an alliance and take us down.
Imagine like WWE like WrestleMania tag team match with Gavin and Walt Disney, and it's like they throw down with the three of us. It'd be very silly.
I'll be down.
That's my answer.
Let's see what happens.
Let's hop to Brandon next. I think that's fair because I think James has the most stats. What have you been playing, if anything?
Okay. Well, little something called God of War Ragnarok comes out in 9 days, and
Dude.
I am beyond desperate to play it. So last night, I didn't think I was going to finish God of War again on time before the game came out, but I did because it was a shorter game than I expected.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I replayed God of War 2018 on a laptop instead of on the PC that is here. I did get to play it on the Steam Deck for a bit though, and handheld God of War,
Nice.
very cool.
Wow.
Good thing. Very good game, honestly. Just really good
yeah.
story, really great characters, really great performances. If you haven't played the game, play the game. And the sequel's coming out soon. Play the sequel, because it's probably going to be great. And yeah, I played a little bit of Beanie as well.
Dude,
Very much enjoyed
haven't we
Beanie.
all? Haven't we all? What a
Absolutely.
timeless
and then
classic.
Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal came out on PC last week, so I've been playing that a bit as well.
Yeah,
because,
there's a few games that like
why not?
Mario and Rabbids came out. I would be playing that, but like I feel like
Oh yeah, I did.
there's a few games I'm probably just gonna get for my birthday. You know, like God of War comes out middle of the next month. I'm probably just gonna get that 2 weeks later for my birthday and all that. So I'll be playing those
Yeah.
then. I'm looking forward to that a lot. And then James, what have you been playing, bro? What have you been playing?
What's it been doing?
Oh, well, I've been doing pretty much nothing but gaming today. So Bayonetta 3 came out on Friday. It didn't arrive Friday or Saturday or Sunday. It arrived this morning. So I've just been playing that all day. And yeah, it's very, very good. Obviously I haven't finished it yet. I've just finished chapter 9, so I'm like probably got like just over a quarter of the game left to go. So I probably will finish it today.
Wow.
But yeah.
That's crazy. That's
How does it feel?
insane.
They're not long games, so. But yeah, it's very good. I'm gonna obviously need to finish it and give it some time to properly formulate my thoughts. But definitely the most ambitious Bayonetta game. I really like Viola. I like Viola more than I thought I would. And the demon slave thing where you like, I don't know if you guys have seen in the trailers, but normally you only use like the demons for like finisher moves, but you can actually like summon them and just like fight as them for some parts. And I thought it was going to be really broken and that they would rely on that too much, and luckily they don't. It's actually really well implemented into the main gameplay. So I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, I also will say the Jean side missions that are like a 2D stealth section, they're pretty fun, but I kind of wish they were optional because they have like 3 main chapters and then a Jean side mission that you have to do before you carry on to the next chapter. They're fun, but like I would rather just like carry on with the normal Bayonetta stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, fun. Interesting to see where the story goes. I have had some spoilers, but nothing like too major. But yeah, it just feels so good to finally have it and be able to play Bayonetta 3. Because I've had some like moments today while playing it where I'm just like, it just kind of hits me. They're like, oh god, this is that I'm actually playing it right now. I think back to like when I was like 15 years old and like there'd be a direct and I'd be just like desperately hoping we'd hear anything. And now it's here and I've played it. And it's like, wow, cool game. Bayonetta 3.
So it's you'd say it's like the game is worth it. Like you know the wait so far. You right now you say game's good.
Yeah. I obviously I'll need to kind of process it a bit once I've finished it, but to see where it like stacks up against the others. But yes, very happy so far.
Nice. All right, so that's all we have. We got a good like hour in. Happy Halloween, guys. We're gonna do our outros now. I'm JMatthew.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
Yeah, it is. Today is Halloween, dude.
I forgot.
I'm excited. I love Halloween, dude. I love Halloween. Halloween's a good holiday. Especially in America. America, we got like there's a lot of houses in my block that got a lot of silly decorations. That's always fun. I'm not. So my question is like, does the UK like? I think we asked before, but like, there's not like you don't. Do you go down the street and like see some houses that have like these inflatable things or like heavy decorations like at all or like what?
Definitely in some places, but like, yeah, I feel like this year, not many people have really gone for it.
Yeah,
it seems to just be passing people by this year, but
I usually
a lot of the time.
For my area, I'm pretty sure it's just like, cause I in my like circle, it's only a few houses, but we like a week ago, like at like night, like drove to an area where there's like a lot of really cool ones because they're like big spots for like trick or treats every year. So like there definitely is spots that are like very heavily decorated and all that. Like I showed you that like mansion that's pretty close to me that like they always decorate like hell every year. I don't know why there's just a mansion there. It's it's like very niche town in Pennsylvania. I guess kind of niche. But yeah, I'm JMatthew. You find me at JMatthew on YouTube. I wanted to have a FNAF video out for Halloween, but like there's no way that could have happened. So now we're just jumping right to the next project, because you know it doesn't really matter that much to get FNAF out. It's not as important. So look out for that. I want to do some live streams soon. Some Halloween dedicated. No, well, it's too late for Halloween dedicated live stream. But you know, some live streams are on the way. And yeah, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and James. Oh, and don't forget to plug the film that you guys are both working on.
Spoilers. Yeah, I was going to talk about Wayne Project. Yes, so I'm Nintendo James. My YouTube is Nintendo James. My Twitter is @_Nintendo James. I will definitely have some content for Bayonetta out yet. I'm probably gonna do like just something like saying my thoughts on the game once it's settled. But that will probably be in a while. That's probably the next video I'm gonna make. Yeah, the main thing I'm working on now still is Intoxication, which is the film I'm making. It's a murder mystery about drunk people at a party. And I'm very proud of it. We have our last day of shooting tomorrow, and then it's onto the big editing process. And very luckily, this beautiful man here called Brandon Dolphin Arena has been helping me. So you can talk about that with your bit.
I can. Yeah, I'm Brandon Dolphin Arena, apparently. I first heard about this podcast 11 months ago, and now I am finally here on it, which is crazy. I have enjoyed my time, but let's talk a little bit more about Intoxication. So I am working on it with the man in the pink JMatthew hat. And yeah, no, it's been a good time. It's been busy. We had to get a lot of shots, and my equipment is also still with him and not with me, and it is on the other side of the country, so I am coming back to steal it, and you will never have it again. That is a joke. You'll probably have it again at some point. But no, cool project. Hadn't had a chance to do anything like that in a while, so it's cool just suddenly, because it was, you've been playing for about 9 months. I came into the process about 3 weeks before you started shooting, so that was quick. But yeah, I'm happy with how it's turning out as well. I need to, editing is going to need to start happening, because we both want it out. We both want it released. We both want it happening. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. And, if you want to find me, look underneath your bed, because I don't have any social media. So there or in your walls. You can find me there. And go watch Intoxication when it finishes. I dare you. I absolutely dare you. Be a really funny bet.
Make sure you guys drop listener questions down below. We have access to the community tab now, so we'll probably put it out soon. Not only promoting the new episode, but asking for questions to be on the next podcast. Next podcast should be a pretty big one. We have a guest that we want to have on for the next one. Talk about a pretty good topic, and Brandon will not be on there but
no, it's not me. It's not me. Spoilers. It's not me.
Yeah. It's not Brendan too. But yeah, that was our Halloween episode of the Tipping Stars. Sadly, it was not really we did it this is very quick scheduling we got to do. So I'm very glad it got to happen at all. Because we just wanted to have a Halloween episode out, because it's Halloween, cool episode idea. And thank God, because it was a hilarious episode. We had our moments, and there was a good, and it had really funny, really good moments, and then really good discussions. So I think it was perfect. And yeah, that was episode 8 of Tipping Stars. Thank you guys for watching. See you very soon. Thank you, first guest, Dolphin Arena. He just froze at the very perfect time. He did. I think he's gone. But thank you for being on there. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's back. Hi. He is back.
My camera froze for a while. I'm back. I said feed Markiplier that cereal, and I froze. Someone heard, and I had to stop me.
Dude, there was a toddler in your walls unplugging certain things.
Yeah, he just punched through my walls and was like, "Don't you dare say his name like that."
Don't say his name.
But yeah, feed Markiplier that cereal.
Yeah. Bye.